Everybody. Some of you guys don't know me. Most of you, I think I've met a few of you guys, but I'm Franchetta. I'm a nurse and I work for Prisma Health, and I'm also an educator with Essential Health Ed, which is a company that I own. And we do a lot of educational training, and of course, the main topics that we've been covering so far is the coronavirus, which is also called COVID-19. I'm sure everybody has heard of it. There's so much out there about it that I felt like I should just kind of inform our congregation on some things that we're doing, and that I suggest you guys do as well. For example, just so everybody knows what coronavirus is, coronavirus has been around for a very long time. It's not brand new. There's actually 3 strands of it, but this is the 4th one that is a little different than before. So the containing of it is very hard, and it's been very difficult for most people to do. So yes, we should be concerned, but there's not much you should fear. If you're doing the basic things that you were doing to prevent the flu, you'll be fine with the coronavirus as well. It is a virus, so there's no antibiotics that's going to treat it, and then there is no vaccines to prevent you from getting it. So what we all are suggesting everybody do is prepare yourself, because it is going to come around. Just so you know, everybody is probably going to have someone that you come in contact with. You might even know someone who has it, but everybody's not going to have the same symptoms. So let's just talk about some things first. We're still in flu season. So we're coming out of the flu season. If you didn't get your flu vaccines, you're not running a fever, you're not sick, you haven't done that, call your doctor, ask if it's still good to get that. So we're coming out of flu season and we're going into our allergy season. So people are going to start being really allergic to a lot of pollen that comes out. So you're going to have the same symptoms. You might see the same symptoms that you would see if you had the flu. So if you have a flu, you'll have the body aches, the chills, you will have the fever, you'll have a cough with congestion, and then you will still not feel well. You have fatigue, be very weak. That is the flu. Allergies is a little different. Most people experience allergies a little different, but you might still have a flu-like symptoms. So you could have the itchy eyes, the runny nose, cough with some congestion. You might even have just feeling tired as well. But those symptoms usually subsides pretty quickly with some antihistamine like Benadryl or Claritin or Zyrtec, something like that. But the coronavirus is different. See, the coronavirus, you get a cough, a very, very dry cough. It has no congestion. The cough is like a hacking cough that's continuous, which can take your breath away. So coughing is a sign of the coronavirus. And then you have fever. Fever is the other one. Fever is high, typically 102, 101, but you can still have a low-grade fever of 99 or something like that. But also, you get the cough, you get the fever, and then you get the shortness of breath. Now, the shortness of breath is what we're really concerned about, is because usually people, if they have other issues like respiratory problems, that's really bad in them, and they won't be able to catch their breath, and so that's when we have concerns. But let me just explain some things. If you have these symptoms and you can treat them at home, and if you had these symptoms and if you didn't know about the coronavirus, if you would have stayed home and treated yourself anyway, we suggest you do that. Because if you go to the ER thinking that you have it and you don't, you can pick up other germs and you might even pick up the virus there. So we want to ask you to take care of some things. So here's a few things that I want you to try. If you have a fever, keep Tylenol and ibuprofen on hand. You can alternate those every 4 hours. So Tylenol is a good way to treat your fever. If you have a cough and you can't find cough medicine, because people are buying them up, you can use honey. Try some honey. For a sore throat, you can have a teaspoon of salt with warm water to gargle to soothe your throat. And lemon water is another option too to help with the cough. You just want to catch the cough when you can. The shortness of breath will be different for people. Some people will be worse, others it won't. So if you have shortness of breath, you can, if you feel like you can't manage it and you just get real tight in your lungs, you could try a nice steamy shower, getting it really foggy in there to open up the lungs. If that doesn't help, you definitely want to seek help. So prismahealth.org/coronavirus is a website where you can actually go and be telemedic visited by a doctor, where you can go and click on it and a doctor can examine your signs and your symptoms and suggest what the next option can be. That will decrease your risk of exposure, and it will also help you to understand what's going on, because we really don't want you to get something you don't already have. Does that make sense? So just really make sure you protect yourself as you can. So basic things: wash your hands, stay 3 to 6 feet away from people, not all up in their face. You know, when you're talking with them, make sure you give yourself some space. If you cough, use your sleeve, use a tissue, wash your hands, those kind of things. And if you do feel sick, please stay home. The masks are to protect other people from you. It does not protect you from them, because this virus is contact and airborne. So it's one of those things you just got to give yourself space. So that's all I had.